Stephen A. Smith came out and said that he doesn't want to hear any longer any of the $500 million contracts being thrown out there for Shohei Ohtani. He thinks that, one, he's not pitching until 2025 with his elbow injury. Who knows how he is when he gets back. And two, which is why we're bringing it up on the business podcast, the sports business podcast, your favorite sports business podcast in the Northeast corridor of Hoboken, New Jersey, is because he's not necessarily bringing in the revenue that you think he's bringing in. And to be paying a gentleman, let's say over 10 years, $50 million a year, are you really making that in return? Or, even better, what he said was, do you really need that? Need him to make the money that you might make in return? And I think, and this is what I put on Twitter, that he has a fantastic point. Now, baseball Twitter is up in arms. They can't take Shohei slander to any degree. But I got in there a little in the mentions, and I think Sean, and TiVo, all of us are businessmen, solo entrepreneurs. I think that all three of us can make a pretty good case that Shohei is a real chance that Shohei's not worth that much money. He's, from a baseball perspective, could he make a splash for a team and maybe put them over the top if he stays healthy to win a World Series, of course. But is he that much better than Mookie? Yeah, I guess so. If he's pitching, yeah, probably.
How good of a pitcher is he? Is he Cy Young level?
Good. He's really good. Yeah. He's never won a Cy Young, obviously, but
he's
he is. He's very good. Yeah, he's very good. He's throwing up probably a mid-2 ERA, a 3, low 3. I don't know his exact stats, TiVo. If you could bring those up for while you have a second, bring up the Shohei pitching stats or splits. But it is impressive the type of player he is, and no one's taking that away from him. But does he bring in the revenue that you need in order to make him worth it? Yeah, I'd love to go sit with John Henry and sit with these guys and just be like, okay, what else? What side things are you guys is making this value worth it to you guys? Like the licensing, of course, you're making money. Of course, you make the playoffs, you make a lot more money. And the further you go in the playoffs, you make a lot more money. The World Series, but I was talking to this guy yesterday, and he was talking about how he built. He's talking about the guys who built the Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards, for those folks that aren't familiar with this area, even though we have a small niche following here in the north quarter of Hoboken. But Hudson Yards is a
north corner of Hoboken. You can't walk anywhere in the north corner of Hoboken.
The moment you step out of it, no one knows who you are.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, paparazzi up there is crazy.
But there is, I don't know, how many buildings are in Hudson Yards, Sean? Take a guess. 6?
No, it's like 25, 30.
25, 30 buildings in Hudson Yards. This particular developer built them all, right? And we were talking about him and how, the development was great. He made a killing. It's this company called Related. They made a killing on building these buildings. But what you don't think about is once they got this project, they went and bought a window manufacturer out in South America. So now that business made a killing, and they made a killing. And then all of these other side businesses that they bought that put the pieces together, this billion-dollar deal turned into $2 billion, $3 billion for them. So I'd be so curious to see, the Angels, or let's say Shohei signs with the Yankees, right? I'd be so curious to see what guys or what businesses and what business and revenue are they drawing from other places that we don't know about that is making them a ton of money. Like, what else are they doing that's driving this bottom line up because of the addition of Shohei Ohtani? Like, obviously, he's going to bring a ton of fanfare. He's going to have all that stuff. You'll probably be able to throw some things like when they do the Boston Fan Fest in Mohegan Sun. I bet you if Shohei Ohtani's showing up, that place was already pretty mobbed. I bet you it is unbelievably mobbed for Shohei Ohtani. So are they making more money that way? Of course. But does that make up $50 million? No, it doesn't. So, what other things are happening that allowed the Boston Red Sox or New York Yankees or whoever to sign Shohei to make it a very profitable endeavor?